Good day, everyone. For this session, we will be focusing on two non-negotiable skills for any surgeon: the fundamentals of needle loading and the complex yet critical technique of intracorporeal knot tying. By the end of this session, you will know the instruments and trocar placements to create a knot, master the correct 1/3 to 2/3 needle loading, and you will be able to execute a secure, flat, intracorporeal square knot. You will be needing 3 tools to complete a knot. First, a laparoscopic needle driver that comes in different handles and different jaws. Second, an atraumatic grasping forceps such as a Johan or Maryland. And lastly, a surgical needle with its corresponding suture. You must be familiar with a needle. A needle is composed of a needle body with a needle point on one side and the swage on the other. The swage is where the suture is attached. The length of a needle is measured from the needle point to the swage, and its curvature varies depending on its use. This is an example of a 1/2 circle needle commonly used in laparoscopic surgery. In loading a needle, we divide the needle arc into thirds. The needle is grasped with the tip of the needle holder's jaws at the point 1/3 of the distance from the swage, or 2/3 from the needle tip. This provides optimal stability and leverage for driving the curve. The length of the suture also matters. One must have enough suture to complete the throws of a knot, but it should not be too long that it takes time to pull through the tissues. Typically, it should be more than 1 finger breadth or around 12 to 15 centimeters. As in the previous diagram, we divide the needle body into thirds and we grasp the needle at a distance 1/3 from the swage. When we insert a needle, we grasp the needle by the suture and not the needle body. A needle will not fit into a 5 mm port. So, the port must be removed first, and the needle is placed directly into the incision. In contrast, a needle will easily fit into an 11 or 12 mm port. In performing laparoscopic suturing, you must take into account the placement of the trocars, as this will affect the angle in which you make your knots. In the ipsilateral port placement, you stand on the patient's left side and you insert the trocars on the left side of the patient. On your right hand, you have the needle holder, and on the left hand, you have your grasper. You can see the angle that is formed laparoscopically. You may also choose a contralateral placement of the trocar. You stay on the left side of the patient, but you must cross over the patient's body and also the camera, which might be difficult for a smaller person. You may also choose a suprapubic port. Your left hand goes to the accessory port and your right hand goes to the suprapubic port. This may also be reversed by placing the forceps at the suprapubic port and the needle holder at the accessory port. You may also go to the patient's right side with the needle holder at the accessory port and the forceps at the suprapubic port, and you may also reverse the position based on your comfort and your experience. Upon grasping the needle at the proximal 1/3, we create a 90-degree angle between the needle and the needle driver to maximize tissue bite. There are several ways of loading a needle. You may drop the needle and grasp the proximal 1/3 and press against the patient's tissue to align the needle. Alternatively, you can grasp the suture with the forceps, grasp the needle with the needle driver, then adjust the needle by manipulating the suture. In driving a needle, drive with your wrist, not your shoulder. The needle is a curve, and your wrist must mimic that arc. Pronate to push through the first side and supinate to drive through the second side, using the curve, not brute force. A 3-throw knot, double, then single, is the standard for security with most laparoscopic sutures. Always alternate your throws, away, towards, away, or towards, away, towards, to ensure a flat, secure, square knot. This is a demonstration of ipsilateral knot tying. For the first throw, the dominant instrument wraps the suture twice, grasps the tail, and pulls to lay the knot flat. This creates the secure, non-slipping base. In throw 2, the dominant instrument wraps the suture once in a single throw, but in the opposite direction of the first throw. This ensures a true square knot. It grasps the tail and pulls to seal it. Throw 3, single wrap, is a final single throw in the original direction, and this completes the knot, locking it in place. This is an actual case of suturing the vault using a non-barbed suture. So you make 2 throws away, then you grasp the tail of the suture and pull in opposite directions to let the knot lay flat on the tissue. Then you create another loop and throw in the opposite direction and grasp the tail of the suture, creating a square knot. Then for your last throw, you throw away again and you grasp the tail of the suture. In summary, to create an intracorporeal knot, perfect loading the needle using the 1/3, 2/3 rule. Then, drive the needle following its curvature. Lastly, master the alternating directional throws to ensure a secure, flat intracorporeal knot.